People rat with Rooks because Combat Recon cruisers are undetectable by directional scanners. This means it's harder to attract attention from PvPers while farming with these ships, thus fewer losses and less ISK wasted on replacement equipment. We choose the Rook instead of ships like the Curse or Hugin because the Rook is the only Combat Recon that actually outputs reasonable damage that plays nice with sleepers and isn't detectable. But the Rook isn't just for wormhole ratting. It can also be used in a number of creative ways, such as running dead sites in low sec to avoid some of the typical scrutiny. Regardless of purpose or number of accounts, Rooks used for ratting must sport a strong tank. To completely ignore the damage from Class 3 anomaly combat sites in wormholes, stacking defensive mid-slot modules and using a modest set of crystal implants is ideal. For other purposes, it all depends, and a prop mod might be more useful. For normal players who use a single account, using heavy assault missiles ensures high damage output. Alternating between rage and javelin missiles and configuring scripts in a targeting computer actually puts up a formidable offense. A heavy assault missile fit designed for single boxing solo players is posted in the video description if you want to cut right to the chase. For us nerds who like to multi-box, on the other hand, friend or foe or auto-targeting missiles are a completely viable option. Although they do much less damage than heavy assault missiles, friend or foe missiles don't require targeting, so with enough Rooks, sites can be cleared nearly AFK. I suggest starting with at least 3 to 4 Rooks before attempting this in C3 space, but your mileage may vary. While the Rook might be capable of putting out a surprising amount of damage, it obviously clears quite slow compared to other ships like Marauders. But it's not that far behind ships like strategic cruisers, and it's definitely better than the contemporary Praxis, although much more expensive. Personally, I think ISK per hour is a terrible way to measure content, but for those whose brain works this way, Rook ratting probably generates up to 150-160 million ISK per hour in Class 3 wormholes for an average player. It's about 4 sites an hour. Using a Rook makes ships immune to directional scanners, but it doesn't hide wrecks. What this means is that a savvy player, despite not being able to directly observe a Rook's ratting, might notice wrecks appearing in space. If they're observant enough, they might track down those wrecks leading right to the Rook. That's how I even discovered this technique in the first place, by noticing wrecks popping up for seemingly no reason and following the breadcrumb trail. Another slight weakness to the Rook ratting strategy is the idea that when an anomaly or signature is completed, a probe launcher window for all capsuleers in the system refreshes or flashes briefly. This isn't very noticeable as it's similar to when a site naturally despawns, but it may attract the attention of someone keeping a close eye on the system even if they're out of D-scan range of the Rook ratter. A final note about detectability is about drones and the salvaging process. Some capsuleers leave drones on their directional scanner filters, which means that using something like a Curse to salvage behind your Rooks is probably a bad idea. Instead, when I rat with Rooks, I have a cheap character drop mobile tractor units and salvage right out in the open long after the Rook is already hidden and logged off. If someone notices the salvager and makes a play, it's no big deal. The Rook is safe. There are so many different ways to rat in EVE Online. Sometimes we just feel like it's Marauders or Dreads or Carriers or something. In reality, there's all types of creative strategies that players use every single day to tackle these challenges. Rook ratting is just one example of that, but now it's one in your arsenal. Thank you for watching and good luck ratting from the shadows.